Hello, it's Emma Holmes at Coaching Rockstars, and I have invited the beautiful Becky Cope from Infinity to come and talk a little bit about her specialist subject about Facebook and the algorithm and the changes to the algorithm, because there was an awful lot of chitter chatter in one of my groups the other day about the optimum number of times to post on social media and the optimum time of day to post on social media, etc. And the fact that this isn't necessarily a one size fits all. Go take a look at a video and she'll tell you a little bit more.
Hi, it's Becky here from Infinity, and I want to talk to you today about your Facebook marketing, and particularly about three things that you might be overthinking at the moment. And this is following on from various conversations I've had with people recently about their Facebook pages and about what they should be doing to get the best results. So I want to talk you through these three things and kind of reframe how you might be thinking about them so that hopefully you can get better results from your Facebook page, but also just regain a bit of sanity and stop worrying about certain things, stop stressing about them, and ultimately stop overthinking them, because actually that can keep you quite stuck and stand in the way of your progress. So the first thing is the algorithm. So you may be aware that Facebook has an algorithm which controls what appears in people's news feeds. So every time you log onto Facebook, Facebook runs a bit of a calculation and looks at various different factors to decide which content it thinks you will be most interested in seeing. And that calculation that it makes is unique to each person. So although it takes into account the same factors, everybody sees something different in their newsfeed because it's based on their interests, the things that they have engaged with in the past, which pages they follow, how they like to consume content, lots of different factors. And we don't know everything that goes into the algorithm, so we know that it's there. We know some of the things that are part of it because Facebook has told us. We know other things based on testing things out on various different pages. So I'm quite fortunate in that because I manage lots of different pages, I get to see the effect that algorithm has on different businesses. So it is an important thing to be aware of on Facebook, but it's also not something that should be holding you back or keeping you stuck or leading you to make decisions that perhaps might not be best for your business, but you're making them on the basis of what you think Facebook wants to see in the algorithm. So what you will see a lot of is people saying, do this one thing or this hack or this trick, and this is going to get you better reach, it's going to get you better engagement. So for example, people might tell you, you need to be posting videos all the time because that's the best thing to kind of beat the Facebook algorithm. Or they might tell you that you need to be posting X amount of times per day or per week, and that's the optimum time across the board based on the algorithm. And actually, it's not that clear cut. There are no ways to hack the algorithm, in my opinion. You can't game the system, partly because we don't know everything that goes into it, and mainly because it's different for every page. So although there is one algorithm that does one job, the effect that it has will be different on each page because each page is so unique, because your business is so unique. You obviously have a crowd of followers, they're looking for certain information, they engage with you in a particular way, and for that reason the effect that the algorithm has on your page will be different to the effect that it has on my page or to someone else's page. So getting bogged down in what the algorithm wants is a surefire way to kind of stay stuck and perhaps do things that aren't actually best for your audience or for your business and aren't going to get the best results because there's no one size fits all solution. And that leads me into the second thing that you might be overthinking, which is reach. And reach, probably even more so than the algorithm, reach is the big thing that lots of people worry about, and lots of people make decisions about their Facebook marketing based on what they think is going to get them the best reach. So reach is basically how many people see your post. So organic reach is the number of people that see it in their newsfeed without you putting any money towards advertising, and paid reach is if you were to run an advert or boost a post, you would have the paid reach, and then they come together to give you kind of the overall reach of the post, so how many people have seen it. So again, it is important, because if nobody is seeing your posts, then your message is not getting out there and you're not reaching the people who need to hear from you. But as with the algorithm, it's not the be all and end all. So you could be getting thousands and thousands of people seeing your post, but if they're all the wrong people, then it's not going to have any benefit to your page. And actually what we're finding on Facebook pages at the moment is that reach has dropped. It's been kind of an ongoing trend, but since the latest algorithm update, we have found that it has dropped for many pages. But that's not necessarily a negative thing. So what I am finding is that the quality has improved. So less people might be seeing your post, but actually there might be more of the right people, which is of much more value to your business than lots and lots of people seeing it, but then being the wrong people. So it's definitely not one to overthink, and it's one that I would say proceed with caution if you're making decisions based on what's going to get you the best reach. Again, there's no one size fits all answer to this, or one strategy that everybody can apply. So on some pages I find that people get the best reach from videos, other pages it can be links, it can be text only posts. It really does vary across the board, and it comes down to how your audience like to consume your content. So not everybody wants to watch a video, when they want to consume it, what type of content they want to consume. So it's just one factor for you to bear in mind, but don't get too hung up on that number. And I'm thinking that your Facebook marketing is a failure if that number's not quite where you want it. Just to put it in perspective, the kind of rough figure at the moment is 1 to 2% of your followers seeing a post that is considered good reach. Actually, I'm finding that it is possible to get much, much more, between 10 and 20%. But the secret to that is not getting hung up on it and focusing on the third factor, which I'm going to come on to in a minute, which is engagement. So engagement really is the important thing on Facebook, and for a number of reasons. And this could be something that you're overthinking as well. So it's important to the algorithm. So the way that people engage with your content will affect who gets to see your content in the future. So the more that people engage with your posts, the more likely they are to see your future posts. And it's a bit more specific than that actually as well. So for example, if somebody always engages with your photos, but they don't necessarily engage with your text only posts, for example, then they're likely to see more of your photos in the future. So it's quite kind of complex how it works, but for you, what I recommend is just focusing on getting that engagement going. It's also important because it will affect your reach. It will improve that. But the main reason why I think it's important is because when people start to engage with your post, that's when you can really start to build up a meaningful relationship with them. That's when you can start to build the know, like, trust factor, because you can get that conversation going. And at the end of the day, social media is all about being social. It's in the name, the clue's in the name. And if you think about why you go on social media, either personally or as a business person, it's often not strictly business related. It's not to be broadcast to, it's not to be sold to, it's to have conversations. That's what it's all about. So if you really focus on that, it means that you can get to know your followers, they can get to know you, and you can start to build up that really meaningful connection with them that is eventually going to nurture them into becoming customers, but the right customers as well, because they're going to have connected with you and understood you, and you're going to understand them on a much more meaningful level. And the reason why this is the third factor I think a lot of people are overthinking is because people kind of stress about how to get that engagement. And when they're focusing on it in the post, they might be missing how simple it can actually be. So just to give you a little insight, what I'm finding is working really well across the board for so many different businesses at the minute is keeping it simple. So not overthinking it. So asking simple questions that people can reply to in one word or a sentence. Things that don't necessarily need them to think really deeply or to share something really, really personal, because that's not what people want to do on social media. Although we put a lot of our lives out there, people are innately quite private, most people are, so they might not want to be commenting with kind of really personal things, and they're also really time poor. So if you again think about how you use social media, do you go through there and look for long discussions to start being involved with, where you need to write, a few paragraphs to respond to a question? Some people will, but the majority of people don't. Whereas if you ask something that takes, a couple of seconds to answer, or a couple of minutes to take a quick picture to share what they're doing with their day, or anything like that, where it's just a really quick response, that can be a great way to foster that engagement, especially initially, because once you've started to get that engagement and you've started to get those people that regularly engage, you'll start to get kind of a core group of followers that will regularly engage with your posts. If you kind of warm them up with those initial easy to answer questions or invitations to share something from their life or what they're up to, that kind of thing, then eventually they might be willing to have deeper conversations and spend a little bit more time engaging with you. But particularly when you're first looking at building up engagement, it's about keeping it simple, not overthinking it, keeping it social, and just focusing on kind of having a chat with your followers. The whole point of this is for you to get to know them and them to get to know you. So probably my best piece of advice would be, in a lot of cases, put the algorithm and the whole reach thing out of your mind and focus on engagement. Yes, there is a time to be thinking about how the algorithm works and if there's been any updates lately and things like that. But that, in terms of a day-to-day, it's not something to get hung up on. There are places you can go to find out that information, to get kind of up to speed. So I share things all the time to just help people stay up to date with what's happening and what impact it's having. But for you as a business owner, and with social media being one element of your marketing, one element of your business, my best piece of advice would be to focus on engagement and focus on keeping it simple, and just really bring the social back into social media and concentrate on having those conversations with people, getting to know people, letting them get to know you, and not getting too hung up on algorithms and reach and all the rest of it. It's about treating social media as social media, really. So I hope that's been helpful. I just wanted to pop in and cover those few points, kind of to put your mind at rest, really, that you don't need to be stressing and getting hung up on these things, but also to give you some advice that is hopefully going to help you move forward with your Facebook marketing and start to enjoy it as well, because you'll probably find that when you start focusing on engagement and you keep it simple and you keep it social, that's when you'll really start to enjoy it, because there's nothing better than having a chat with your ideal client. And social media, and particularly Facebook, is a fantastic way to do that. So focus on having those conversations. That's kind of why you're in business, to speak to these people. So focus on doing that and have fun with it and enjoy your social media marketing. Don't worry about the other stuff. So I really do hope that's been helpful. Do pop me a message if you've got any questions or you're still unsure or stuck with anything, and I'll be happy to help. But I will speak to you very soon. Bye for now.